So what we're looking at here is the Lenovo Legion Pro 5. To me, this hits the sweet spot of like the best bang for buck, especially from Lenovo, even at its retail MSRP price point. It's about $1,659. You get an RTX 5060, you get 32 gigs of RAM, you get an OLED color accurate display, and you get a solid build quality and upgrade path on this device. Two M.2 slots, two upgradable RAM sticks, but it ships with 32 gigs. So if you're a creator, that's a great sweet spot for you, whether you're doing video editing, Photoshop work, you're a digital artist, graphic designer, photographer, and that's all packed into this nice thin form factor. This is a redesign for 2025. I did not get a chance to take a look at this until recently. I didn't even see it at CES this year, but I would say it's a good redesign, nothing earth-shattering. It shares a lot of the similarities of the design in the past, but still a good, light, fairly thin chassis for a full-size gaming laptop. And as you can see, we have no ports on the back panel. This is new. So in the past, we've seen the Lenovo Legion series have a lot of ports on the back. They've changed that for the Legion Pro 5 model this year. And we have a power adapter on the left side, HDMI, two USB Type-C, and a USB Type-A. Flip over for additional two USB Type-A's, network port, manual cutoff switch for the webcam, and a headphone jack. Now, speaking of that webcam, here's a sample of the webcam so you can see for yourself what it looks like. This is the webcam on the Lenovo Legion Pro 5 and a little sample of the audio for you as well. Personally, I don't like the removal of the ports from the back panel. I love how simple it is to plug everything in the back panel and you have nothing kind of intruding upon your working space. All the cables and stuff go out the back and they can even like loop around, say if you have devices or whatever plugged in. I feel like that's been a really good design in the past, but no longer the case here. Now, we did talk about the upgrade. I'm going to show you that real quick. You can see as you pull off the bottom cover, you have those two M.2 slots, two upgradable RAM sticks, and you can see a nice thermal chamber. Put the bottom cover back on, you can see there's a nice venting here for those two fans. You have speakers coming out of the bottom panel, no upward facing speakers on this device. And then of course, what's interesting is you don't have any ventilation on the left or right side panels, but you do have a ventilation along the back panel. Now, speaking of the ventilation, let's look at that now. We're gonna talk more about the performance later in this video. Now, how we test the thermals on this device, take a 4K clip, put in Premiere Pro, export out at full quality 4K settings. This channel is built for creative professionals, so I like to test that creator-focused thermal test. Now, for that 4K export on performance mode, 50 to 52 decibels of fan noise at 71 to 78 degrees Celsius. So good thermal management, even without the side vents. Now, kicking it down into balanced mode at 52 to 56 decibels of fan noise, we actually increase the fan noise and increase the thermal temperatures. That really surprised me, 77 to 90 degrees Celsius. Now, all the way down into quiet mode, that's where we started to see much better thermal management, if that's what you're looking for. 41 to 46 decibels of fan noise at 61 to 67 degrees Celsius. So if you're wanting this system to stay cool and quiet, I recommend quiet mode. But if you want it to go that extra step and get even cooler and even quieter, you can unplug from the charger and you'll have 40 to 42 decibels of fan noise at 46 degrees Celsius on the CPU during that export. And I'm gonna show the reflected export times later in the video during the performance section, but there's the thermals for the device. Now, the next thing I wanna do is go ahead and open up the laptop for the first time. You can see opens and closes easily with one hand. Nice weighted chassis here, so it doesn't pop up or anything. And the hinge is smooth and actually has minimal bounce. You can see that really no matter where I take it, the bounce steadies out pretty quickly. Now, this is one of my favorite hinge configurations because it's protected from any accidental bumps or drops. The hinges are established coming out of the chassis right here. You can see we have a ledge along the backside and the keyboard deck here. And really what's nice about that is the screen actually fits a little bit inside of the keyboard deck as well. So if it does fall, it's fairly protected from damaging these hinge connections. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna close down the screen here and tilt this up a little bit, get you closer. You can see there's the ever slightest gap between where the lid closes and that. So if you were to drop it, it protects the screen, which is really nice. So I think Lenovo has continued to make one of the best design laptops year over year. They tend to be a little bit more expensive sometimes than say a little bit more affordable 5060 or 5070, say like the Gigabyte Aero 16X or the A16. Those would be my absolute best like bang for buck if you're looking for the best budget. But if you're looking for the best overall build quality and performance, I'm gonna point you towards the Legion. Though, like I said, those gigabytes get a great performance to price point, even better than the Legion series. But we're gonna lack some of these key design choices that make these probably an overall more longevity focused device. All right, let's go ahead, open back up again into the device. Earlier we mentioned that there's no upward facing speakers. The speakers are only on the bottom. Here's an audio sample so you can hear for yourself what those speakers sound like. All right, and taking a look at the screen, we do have an OLED glossy display. This is different this year. In years past, we've had a matte IPS display, had a little bit less color gamut range and color accuracy in the displays in the past. They've brought in the OLED to the Legion Pro 5 this year, and I really like to see this just from a color gamut standpoint and color accuracy standpoint. These are incredibly color accurate. It's a 15-inch panel. It's 2560 by 1600 OLED at 165 Hz refresh rate. We have 361 nits of screen brightness at 100% sRGB, 97% Adobe RGB, and 99% DCI-P3 at a delta E of 0.67. One of the most color accurate displays that I've seen on my channel this year, and it's not even celebrated as a creator focused device, but that panel is definitely creator focused. Now, another thing to point out is how the battery life relates to all this. You have an 80 watt-hour battery. The battery life is good. I wouldn't say it's absolutely stellar, but we have about 7 hours and 45 minutes for streaming video playback, 2 hours and 48 minutes for Photoshop work, and 1 hour and 43 minutes of continuous Premiere Pro playback for video editing. So again, not amazing battery life. Definitely gonna wanna bring the charger along with you. Now, moving down into the keyboard deck, let's take a look here. We have the classic Lenovo Legion keyboard. This keyboard has not changed, I think probably in about 5+ years. So same keyboard, quiet key press, flat tops, curved bottoms, full-size shift key, full-size arrow key, numpad. They have stuck with this keyboard and trackpad setup. If you're new to the Legion lineup, it's a great medium key travel, really nice firm snapback, not too loud. The trackpad clicks, it's not subdued, but it's not loud and clicky. You're not gonna bother people, even if you're using the full mechanical click, say in a office setting or in a classroom. As mentioned, if you're new, here's a sample of the audio of the keyboard and trackpad so you can hear what it sounds like in use. Okay, jumping back up to the screen, you can see it does open to a complete 180 degrees, and they have the plastic bezel around this screen with a little rubberized gasket that wraps the entire screen on the sides, and on the bottom there's no gasket or anything. So you're gonna have that rubberized material around the top and the sides of the screen to help it close nice and soft. Now, another cool touch that's actually very helpful for you to know what mode you're in without jumping into the Lenovo Command Center. When you go into performance mode, it turns the icon red, which is really handy. So you don't have to, open up the Command Center to know, oh, hey, I'm in performance mode. I, didn't want to be, or I want to be. And so I think that's really nice. So you go into balance, it goes into this white, and you go into quiet, and it goes into blue. So all of your modes are identified with the Legion ring logo wherever you are. So I think it's really cool just a nice little neat detail and touch. Now, as we're working our way towards the performance benchmarks, this is the AMD Ryzen 7 8745HX with an RTX 5060, 32 gigs of RAM, and a terabyte of SSD. Now, that RTX 5060 is running at 115 watts of maximum graphics power or total graphics power. If you're new to that, what it means is that that's the maximum allowed wattage that the GPU can receive from the power brick. So there's limitations that companies put on them. Some are 140, some are 175, usually those thicker gaming laptops like the Legion 9i, which I'll be reviewing soon on the channel. This is 175. The Legion 7i with the RTX 5060 is also 115 watts of maximum graphics power. So it just depends on the model and how they tune the GPU. Now, if you're curious about the exact pricing and availability, when I'm recording this video, it's $1,659, and that's the normal retail price on bestbuy.com. You can head down in the description below to click those links, though, to check the live pricing. We got some sales coming up. Black Friday's coming up, so definitely keep an eye on that. And please make a purchase of those links if you're gonna purchase. It is a huge help to my channel. It keeps the channel alive and the helpful content coming your way. So I always appreciate when you guys use those links, because it'll definitely be on sale even more. Okay, now let's jump into the performance section now that we know what we have as far as the components are concerned. Now, taking a look at both Geekbench single core and multi-core, single core is pretty much middle of the road. Multi-core drops down a little bit on the charts, but as you're gonna see in the full creator real-world benchmarks, this is still a competitive laptop in comparison to other devices of much higher price point and higher component specifications. Now, single-core and multi-core for Cinebench, again, mid to low end of the charts. Now let's go ahead and jump into the Photoshop Creator Benchmark. This is where, again, don't focus on simulated benchmarks. The Photoshop Puget Creator Benchmark with this 32 gigs of RAM puts this laptop in third place out of all the laptops I've reviewed this year. Now, moving on to Autodesk 3ds Max and Autodesk Maya, still upper side of the mid-range on the charts for both Autodesk Max and Autodesk Maya. Moving to PTC Creo drops down a little bit, but still a very solid performer. And then finally, SolidWorks, still very solid performance as well. This laptop is comparable to an RTX 4080 from 3 to 4 years ago, and that price point would have been upper $3,000. This laptop is now just over $1,500 before tax, of course. And so to see this amount of performance in that price point is really exciting, especially for 3D modelers. So if you're, entry level to mid-range 3D modeler, this laptop will perform well for you. Now, moving on to the 4K export time inside of Premiere Pro. Take a 9-minute 4K clip, put it in Premiere Pro, export out at full quality 4K settings. You have a 2-minute and 15-second export time. What's interesting is it's still neck and neck with the i7-14700HX from last year with the RTX 4070. So that's kind of neat to look at though. The 5060 is on par with last year's 4070, the last generation 4070. And again, that would have been probably about a $2,000 laptop. So you're saving a few $100s to get equal performance as you've seen in the past. This is also a good way to be like, hey, should I buy an older 4070? Is the 4060 good? You're now seeing comparable performance here on these charts. Next up is the 6K BRAW export time. Again, 9-minute BRAW clip placed in Premiere Pro, export out at full quality 6K settings. You can see that this laptop's right around the 4070 range. There's even a 5070 that it's beating out. You can see right here the RTX 5070 from Gigabyte. This laptop's a bit more expensive, but it's beating out that Gigabyte Aero 16X. Okay, it's got good export times, but how is the playback? Playback is solid. 0 drop frames for 4K full quality playback, 0 drop frame for 6K BRAW, 6K red footage, and the only place we see drop frames is on 8K BRAW, 1,922 out of the 16,177 in the project, but 8K red footage, only 339 drop frames. About 2 years ago, you would have seen that many drop frames out of 6K BRAW, and this is 8K BRAW that we're seeing that amount of drop frames. So the performance of these devices is getting better and better. Don't forget, if you're curious about the exact pricing and availability or you want to make a purchase, links are in the description below. As promised, the various export times according to the thermal profiles. I told you we talk about these later when we're talking about the thermal benchmarks. For the performance mode, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. For balance mode, remember we saw higher heat and higher fan noise for when going from performance mode to balance mode, but the same export time, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. 2 minutes and 27 seconds to actually decrease that fan noise in the thermal. So for me, I'd honestly run this thing in quiet mode because you're gonna get the best thermals and the quietest fan noise, and you're only gonna gain less than 15 seconds of export time. And then looking at if you unplug from the charger and run it on quiet mode, only 3 minutes and 9 seconds for that export time. So still really great. There's a number of these kind of mid-range laptops on the market right now. We have the Lenovo Legion Pro 5, we have the Strix G16, we have the Gigabyte Aero 16X, we have the Alienware M16R2. Which one are you considering other than this one, or is this the main one that you've got your sights on? Definitely comment below or check the live pricing if you want to make a purchase. Again, grateful when you use those links. Click or tap the screen here for more videos to help you with your buying decision, and I'll see you in the next one.